In this video, I'll demonstrate some of the features of simple if statements in Python. I have the Python shell open, and I'm going to go File and New File to open a second window where I can write my program. I'll resize these so I can see them both side by side. Hopefully. Alright. I'm going to start my program with defining my main function and putting a colon after that. It will automatically indent things under that, knowing that they're part of the main function. I'm going to write a simple program that asks the user for their age and tells them if they are old enough to drive. So I'll start with age is equal to the integer version of the input. And I missed a parenthesis there, and so it did not indent correctly. But if I add that parenthesis back in, it will set the indent right. And then I'll say if age is greater than or equal to 16. So that's my condition. At the end of the condition, I must put a colon. That lets it know that I've stated an if statement and a condition. As when I hit enter, it will indent. Anything that is indented at this level under the if statement will be done if that condition is true. I may put as many things as I want here, one line per statement. Right now I only want to do one thing if their age is greater than or equal to 16. I want to print you can drive. I go back to the left and I'm going to call my main function. So let's review what we've done. We've asked for their age, and we've said if age is greater than or equal to, and this is the symbols, the two symbols that we use for greater than or equal to, 16. We did a colon to let it know we're at the end of that, and we said to print you can drive, and I'll change my spelling there to you. So let's try running this. Save it as simple if. And it says how old are you, and I'm going to test it with values that will not be true for that condition and values that will. So let's start with age of 4. It does not do anything. That's what we expected, because it says over here if this is true you will do this statement, but it has nothing to do if it's false. We'll add to our program in a little bit, but let's try running it again with a number that can drive. I'll say I am 18, and it says you can drive, so it appears to work fine. Now let's add the feature to it that would tell them that they cannot drive if they are not old enough. So really we want to leave this in there. If they are old enough, we will put you can drive. Now some people might think of adding another if statement that says if age is less than 16, then print you cannot drive. But let's think for a second. If they are not greater than or equal to 16, we already know that that means they are less than 16. So we will just say, we'll add an else, notice I line it up with the if, and say else, colon, and this is saying what to do if that condition were false. So again, if this condition is true, it will do the first part. Otherwise, or the way we say it in Python is else, we will print you cannot drive. Notice that the else is lined up right under the if. So let's try running this again. And we'll again test it with a young one. It says you cannot drive, which is correct. And let's run it again. And put 18 in, and it says you can drive. So that appears to be correct. Always test your programs with values from every category of the conditions and if statements to make sure that it works for all types of data. In the next video, we'll look at more complicated forms of the if statement.